What's going on, everyone? Here we are, another UTEP minor game. We got some weather going on here, a little bit of rain pouring down. So we're going to get into the UTEP minors coming out of the tunnel now. They had a good game last week. They wound up losing just by 2 scores, I believe it was. And they're taking on this time the FSC Southeast Groupers. So FSC kicking this one off to the UTEP. Smith back to return this ball. He gets the ball. He's running up, takes to the left, trying to find some room. Spins, misses a defender, and gets taken down right there. Nelson under center. Wilson in the backfield here. They hand this ball off to Nelson. Nelson up the middle, has a little bit of opening and gets about 4 on that run. Back under center, Nelson. Nelson looking, throws, hits his tight end in Zinwa. And Zinwa gets a nice pickup here up to the 41-yard line as the UTEP Miners are now moving this ball. Turn around, another handoff to Wilson. Wilson trying to fight through some tackles. He fights his way and gets 3. He's got 2 carries for 7 yards. And Nelson throws this one and he gets it over to Cheeks, and Cheeks gets the first down. He gets knocked out of bounds right there. Nelson now comes back under center. It's probably going to be another run. They like to run heavy on first down as Wilson comes up the center and gets only 1 yard on that one. Now Nelson out of the gun looking to throw this ball. He's looking to have some time. Throws. He hits Thomas over the middle, and Thomas makes the catch before he gets taken down. Nelson making some adjustments at the line. He sees something he likes. He snaps the ball, play action. He's going to throw this one. He has Zinwa over the middle, but no, it's broken up on that play. Defender contesting, coming back up the last second there. This time they hand this one off to Wilson. Wilson bouncing this out, gets some room. He's going to get about 5 on that run there. Nelson now has the ball looking. He rolls right. He's trying to buy some time. Throws, hits Smith, and Smith makes the catch before he's taken down and gets enough for the first down. Wilson in the backfield looking. They hand this one off to Wilson. Wilson stretching it out, trying to get into that touchdown. Spins, reaches forward. He's going to get enough for the first down. He's down at the 7-yard line. Wilson having himself a good game. Play action. Defense kind of falls for it. Throws, hits Wilson out the backfield, and Wilson back to the line of scrimmage before he's taken down. Nelson under center. Hands this one off to Wilson. Wilson out to the left. No one's there, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown. Untouched for the UTEP Miners as they take a 6-0 lead with this extra point. It's now 7-0 now, and barely squeaks over the bar. Inclement weather is going to affect the kicking and the throwing here today, as this time UTEP's kicking it off. And number 31 back to return this one for FSC. FSC's bringing it up, tries to spin and just meets a defender right there. As now FSC South trying to get something going. I didn't take time to learn their names. As the quarterback pitches this to the running back breaks a tackle and he gets taken down right there. And now we have, I'm never going to do another FSC game again because I can't go into their depth chart. As he runs to the right, doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage before he's taken down by the defensive player. FSC East trying to get the ball moving here. 3rd and 10. They haven't moved from their spot. They've just moved left and right. Throws, have the receiver open. He's got enough for the first down before he's taken down by the safety, I believe. That should have been Russell, as this time a big hole opens up the middle. The running back gets some nice room, gets them a first down. Not FSC East. Looks like they're moving this ball right now with a little bit of ease. FSC East trying to get something going. They look to hike. QB's going to get a read, and he's going to run upfield, and that's taken down by number 8, Shuffelt got called out last week and kind of was tacking a little on the weaker side. So let's see if he steps up this week. They hand it off to the running back. Cuts, taken down by the weak side defender. I believe that should have been Inzini. As they on 3rd down, they run, they get out to the left, and they lose a couple of yards. It's going to be 4th and 8 from this distance with the weather. They're punting the ball. This kick is away. The UTEP Miners are going to let this go, and it bounces out at the 13-yard line. Now Nelson under center hands this one off to Wilson. Wilson up through the center, kind of picking up some yards. Gets 6 on that one before he's taken down again. Wilson handed the ball off, and this time he's immediately in the background. No yards on that play. Does get back to the line of scrimmage. Quick throw by Nelson to Smith, and Smith fights forward and gets himself a first down there. Turn around, they hand this one off to Wilson. Wilson up the middle, going to try to fight forward, get 6 yards. No big open holes as that ends the first quarter, but the UTEP Miners have really just established that they are trying to make this run play work, and that was actually Thomas on the catch on that previous play. Nelson looking, has time rolling. No one's there coming. The defender coming in. He just throws this one out of bounds. Takes the hit as he does it, though. Nelson now has some time. Look, throws over the center. Smith drops that one on the hit. Now it's 3rd and 4th. Good defensive stop by FSC East as Nelson goes and UTEP goes and kicks this one away. Bounces. It's going to get a nice little roll here up to about the 38-yard line. So the 32-yard line. FSC backed up a little bit, not that much though, as the quarterback decides to keep this one, trying to break a tackle, and that's number 8, Shuffit again, making himself another good tackle. Trying to show like he got called out, but he's going to step up and make plays this week. This time, running back gets the ball out to the right, and that's the defender there, number 9, Shelton, on that tackle, as FSC East is looking, trying to establish the run. A big hole up the middle, trying to get away. Both the safety and the corner collide there. I believe that is Russell that made that tackle on that one, number 22. This time they read options. The defenders were kind of there in the way. It's causing quarterback to kind of hesitate and bounce out, and Shelton gets an easy tackle there in the backfield for a loss of 2. This time another play, or another QB read, as this time is taken down by Shuffit, and the other defender, I believe that was Phillips there to kind of clean it up. Now we have another 3rd and 13. The FSC East is just not doing anything. Doesn't get nowhere on that one. As Shuffit once again makes another tackle. He's actually establishing himself as the tackling leader and tackling authority in this game, as this one rolls out of bounds and it's out at the 17-yard line after a nice punt. Turn, handed off to Wilson. Wilson has a hole, cuts up it, picks up 4 yards on that play. Turn around, handoff, nope, play action pass. Nelson trying to look and throw it away, but throws it, gets tackled. That's a sack for a loss right there. Has time rolling, buying time. Loros has Thomas wide open. Thomas, big space here going from the 11, but he hurdles and gets blasted mid-air at the 40-yard line, and the ball comes out, and FSC East recovers the ball after a hurdle by Thomas in this weather. God, you looked like a nice play until the defender came in and tackled him, as FSC runs this up the middle and gets about 1 yard on that play. FSC East now trying to get into territory where they can put points on the board. They run it again, and a whole slew of defenders are there, getting only about a half a yard now, making it 3rd and 8. Turn around, hand off the running back up the middle, and the wide open hole once again. I think UTEP is playing for a pass on those, and they're just running the ball almost every play. They're running it more than actually UTEP does, which UTEP has established. That's what they want to do this season. As the running back bounces this outside, and a defender couldn't get him. Taylor winds up catching up and makes the tackle right there. Or that was Jones making a tackle. As Gustafson's in the middle, he's trying to plug this up. And FSC East powers forward and get themselves a touchdown, tying this game up 7-7 with 4 minutes and 29 seconds left here after the extra point is attempted and made. FSC East now kicking this off, as Smith makes the catch on the run and gets up a few yards, throws the ball at the defender there. As they hand this one off to Taylor. Taylor running up the middle, trying to spin out the defender, but he gets 9 on that run. Taylor trying to establish himself as a solid number 2 back, and maybe even a starter next year, as Nelson has this one. He's holding the ball, rolling right, looking, finally throws the ball, was not over the line, and that's Nzenwa big, and he hurdles over a defender, and then he gets knocked out of bounds at the 7-yard line. Huge play by Nzenwa and Nelson. They're really stretching that play out, getting something good going. Taylor up the middle as he is wide open and walks up to the end of the end zone himself. Now him and Wilson both have a nice, easy rushing touchdown, taking the lead back with 3-17, 14-7. UTEP over the FSC East Southeast Groupers, as the Groupers are really trying to hang in here with this UTEP team. Everyone's saying they shouldn't even be in the same stadium at times. As now FSC East gets the ball starting out at their 21-yard line. They got the running back in the backfield, put a receiver in motion, and it's a QB read, and that looks like Wilson was right there. Oh my God. Wilson was right there in the middle just to make a quick stop. Another QB read, and number 32 comes in and makes the tackle. That's Baldwin. The defensive edge actually read that play very nicely. Was there to wrap up the quarterback. Another QB option, and he's taken down this time. That it is in Izani. Izani takes him down. Force in a 4th and 9. They punt this one away. Odom has the ball. He has some blockers. He tries to go out to the left, spins out one defender. Another defender's there, and he gets a few on that one up to the 48-yard line. As it is now First and 10, 2:26 left here. In the first half, they hand this one off to Taylor. Taylor up the middle. No one's there to get him. Kind of squeezed through a little hole there, and he picks up a nice run on that one. Getting down to the 38-yard line, Nelson has the ball, looks through. He hits Cheeks. Cheeks has a blocker, and he gets outside and tackled out of bounds, but there's a flag, and this might be on the offensive tackle, Henry. The right tackle there, Henry, and it is backing him up, making this a 1st and 10. Nelson has plenty of time to throw. He stops, he's moving, looks, throws that one into traffic, and that was a little bit dangerous, almost not taken away there, as there was only one receiver and 3 defenders. Nelson gets tackled and loses 10 on that big sack. Now it's 3rd and 30. What kind of play do you call here? As they look, they throw a slip screen, and they has wide open field over there on the side. He tries to spin out a defender, and he drops the ball. And that was Taylor getting the ball knocked out from him. FSC Southeast recovers once again. 1:15 left here in the first half as they hand this one off to the running back. Running back up to the left side gets about a half a yard on that play, maybe 1 yard though they give him, as it is now 2nd and 9. The quarterback looking, gets hit right as the defender was coming in. He was releasing the ball and causing that ball just to kind of spurt out to the ground. This time they read option, give it to the running back, and the safety comes down, and that is Smith from the strong safety position to make that stop in the backfield, making it 4th and 10 as UTEP burnt a timeout to try to get this ball back. Maybe they're thinking one more score on this, as Odom gets the ball, has some space, trying to fight off a defender, fights off a couple, still going, and then finally gets tackled down by number 42 after a tough return there. This time quick throw out. Thomas breaks the tackle, another defender there, and he stops him. Only 1 yard for that fighting tackle, as Smith was trying to do everything he could, as this time it's another pass. Nelson rolling right, looking, waiting, throwing, and no, he's going to try to take it. Picks up a half a yard himself before he's pushed out of bounds. We got 3rd and 8 here. They just decided to run this one up the middle and take it into halftime, as that's going to give them about 7.5 yards. Here's our up 87 to 68 rushing yards, but as you can see, they ran it 5 more times, and UTEP actually has 1 more touchdown than them. So UTEP this time has to kick the ball off to start the 3rd quarter. This ball is going to be kicked away to FSC East. Looks like maybe a little wind got behind that one, sent it into the back of the end zone, where they decided to down it. Now it's 1st and 10. They decide to QB option. He pitches it out, and the whole team just arrives on number 28 after he gets back to the line. The gain, as the corner made a great play there, waiting for the rest of that team. It looks like they're going to try to throw a slip screen, but quick tackle down there as the blitz came in from Phillips, I believe that was. As it's now another QB halfback draw, and he gets stopped, barely getting back to the line of scrimmage, and it's now 4th and 16. So now the FSC East is going to be repunting this ball back to UTEP. UTEP waiting to go back. Odom on his way back. Fair catches this at the 49, 50-yard line. They give it to him, as Taylor is still in the backfield. We're seeing a lot more Taylor this game than we are Wilson, and I heard that might be an occurrence the next game, as Wilson might need some time to recover, as his body's feeling just a little bit sore. As they throw this one out to Taylor, Taylor spins out one defender, but the other defender's there to prevent a big gain, so he only gets an extra yard. But very nice spin. UTEP is out here trying to make some plays as Taylor runs up the middle, doesn't get anything there. And then now in the backfield is Emery, and Emery gets himself a nice little 1st down, and it looks like this time we get Wilson back into the game. Wilson might have finally got his breath. He was about a quarter there, as I got through a slip screen to him. And FSC East was all over that one, making a 3-yard loss on the play, making it 3rd and 12. Nelson falling back, looking, has some defenders coming in, throws the ball to get out of the sack, and barely gets there. And Zenwood couldn't catch it, so UTEP punting the ball back, trying to pin the FSC groupers back deep, as he kicks it, and they get it down at the 13-yard line. Fair catch called. Quarterback in the pistol formation, he looks, and this is a handoff to the running back. The running back trying to get some room, but he gets 3 yards on that one. Probably one of his little bit bigger runs on the day. Since that 1st quarter, this defense is really tightened up to try to hand this one off again, and it's read and taken down at the line of game, at the line of scrimmage right there. Now have a 3rd and 7 for FSC Southeast, as they throw. Nope, this was an RPO. Good call, but only gets 3 yards, as UTEP was all over that one. FSC East now kicked the ball off, as this one is barely kicked off, and it looks like Odom falls on it. That was a little risky there. I think he didn't want to lose any more yards as they get it at the 47-yard line. Turn, hand this one off to Wilson. Wilson up the middle, fights off a defender, trying to get some extra yards. He gets 7 on that one, as now Nelson's rolling, stop, looks, throws, hits Thomas wide open. Thomas trying to get a big gain, fighting down, and he's taken down to the 7-yard line. Very popular line for UTEP today, as they keep getting down to the 7th, and they turn and hand this one off to Wilson. Wilson stretching it out, spins out a defender, fighting through 3 tackles, and he gets in. The third defender came in and knocked him in, and they're going to put this extra point up, making this a 7-21 game. UTEP starting to kind of take over now and show why FSC is an FSC team and not a FSB1 team. As the FSC gets the ball, they're starting at their own 33-yard line, trying to get something going here on offense, as it's been a very rough day, as this UTEP Miners defense has clamped them down, as this is a big play wide open. The flag is thrown in late. We got to wonder what this is. It looks like it's going to be on an offensive lineman, as it is holding on the offense. Ball's coming back 10 yards as they try to get a big play there, but this UTEP defense clamping up on the run game. Ever since that first quarter, they try to run it again, and this is what we're talking about. The corner comes down, Russell, and stops him at the line of gain. So they're just keeping him at that line of scrimmage. As this time it is a pass, looks, has a receiver wide open, makes the catch. He's going to pick up about 28 yards on that place. Nice pickup all the way up to the 50-yard line. Turn, hand this one off, and the running back up the middle gets a few, picks up 3. So there's another positive game for FSC East Southeast since that first quarter. This one is a QB pitch. QB does pitch it, and then the corner is there. Number 26, Thomas, on the tackle, or just to stop this team from kind of getting open. This one is read very quickly, taken down by Smith. He read that one all the way. It looks like a play-action RPO, and he just threw it to the running back this time. Odom does catch the ball, tries to spin 2 defenders out, doesn't get nothing. He's taken down at his 33-yard line. We got 15 seconds left here in the third quarter. They turn, they hand this one off to Wilson. Wilson up the middle and gets taken down. That's going to end the third quarter. Here's the running back comparison between these two, as Redmond's had a pretty solid day himself, so has Wilson. As they look, they throw, they hit this one. Smith wide open, fighting, and he gets down. Offensive lineman goes down on that play, so they're going to put it back up in. It looked like he rolled his ankle on there. They put in the running back. Running back Wilson gets about a yard on that play. Maybe he's slowing down just a little bit. We've heard some sore bodiness coming from him, as Coach Zimmerman said his style is, this is caught by Odom, pickup of 8, turn around, hand off to Wilson. Wilson bouncing off and gets the first down, but Coach Zimmerman has really rode the running backs hard, because he knows that this is the point of emphasis he wants to make, as Wilson gets to the right and gets 3 more yards. Wilson's still in the game. Maybe he's not feeling that, so he looks, throws, and there is a flag on the play, as that was number 24 on offense with tight end Schultz, who made the catch, but this is a holding, and it is coming back 2nd and 16. As Nelson has sometimes looks, throws, defender there, and they throw another flag, and this is going to be a holding on the offensive lineman, number 70, Matt Moros, who now makes it a 2nd and 28. Nelson rolling back, has time, actually closes in. He just throws an incomplete pass. This one he's looking, trying to go deep, throws it down the middle, tipped away by a defender, and it's going to be a 4th and 26 punt, as they come out and UTEP punts this one away, trying to pin this one deep. Fair catch, called at the 13-yard line. FSC East has to score 2 touchdowns here in this quarter, and they decide to run the ball, and that's Nzini who makes the tackle. They turn, they hand this one off, and boom, oh my God, big hit there by Shuffit. Shuffit said, "You ain't calling me out again next week, coach," or announcers, as that was a big tackle. They run this one to the outside. The cornerback is there. He's going to read it, and then the safety comes in. Smith helps him, cleans up that tackle. We have a 4th and 5. They decide, hey, we got to go for it now before this team gets gets too out of control for us. 6 minutes to go, and the defenders are coming in. He dodges one, and then Baldwin comes in and winds up getting the sack. So they're going to hand this one off after a turnover run down. They hand it to Wilson. Wilson gets nothing. Play action has defenders coming in wide open. Is the receiver number 22. 23 number is Davis. I don't have a 22. Anyways, UTEP scores a touchdown on that one. Sorry, I was a little anti-dramatic there on that, as FSC now has the ball, 5:45 to go, trying to get back in this game, and they got to start throwing the ball. As they do throw it on this one, defender is there. They stop him pretty quickly after a 3-yard pickup on a throw. The clock is ticking down on them. He's trying to make some adjustments at the line. The quarterback has the ball looking right, throws to the receiver, and that one's broken up by the defender, Shelton. As soon as the ball arrived, he arrives. So quick hit, bang, bang collision there. As the quarterback decides to run, he's running up the middle, and he's going to be spotted out and taken down by Izani, as it is now 4th and 2, and they're deciding, hey, we got to go for it one more time. They've already up pretty big on us. There's going to be a throw, and who was that number? That was defensive end Keaton, I believe, Taylor came through and just made a big play. They turn, they hand this one off to Wilson. Wilson out to the outside, picks up 6 yards on that one, stays in bounds. That's big there. Keep the clock running. 2nd and 4, they turn, they pitch this one out to Wilson. Wilson trying to shake, trying to find an opening, and he's going to lose 3. Another offensive lineman goes out. Looks like his ribs are hurting him. Maybe he got a chop shot from a littler defender there. They throw this one out to Wilson. Wilson running, looking, has some time, spins out 3 defenders, gets caught by 1, and fights through 2 defenders to get in for another touchdown. Wilson putting on some moves to get into the end zone, as now the UTEP Miners are leading this game 35-27. As FSC now has the ball, they're trying to see if they can get back in this, as it is getting a little out of control. They've given up some good field position, and the Miners have capitalized. This one is a QB option. Baldwin just never giving up on the play, chases the running back down from behind, as that was a QB option, and this time it's another QB read. Hands the ball off, and that time it's going to get nowhere as Hawkins gets in on that one. Some defensive substitutions coming in, getting some extra guys some playing time, as they are taking this lead mighty handily, and that one is passed off and taken down. They do get enough to get a first down. It's 1st and 10, 2-minute warning, as FSC is really looking. They got to start passing out. Look, throwing that one sails out of bounds as he was hit by a defender. As we now have 1:55, 2nd and 10. They hand this one off, no play action, and it looked like maybe there was a block downfield as number 11 caught that, and that's what they're going to do. Number 88 was too far downfield and made a block. Offensive pass interference, that's going to back them up 10 yards, making it 2nd and 20. As you got to, all those RPOs, you got to be careful, because that's where it can happen at. As the quarterback looks, throws to the left, and that one is broken up by the defensive player Green on that side of the field. They turn QB read on this one, but the defender plays it perfect. And it's number 6 Taylor kind of read the play, and it was on the quarterback's pitch arm, so the quarterback couldn't pitch it, throwing it deep, and somehow the receiver comes down with this one, getting him all the way down to the 19-yard line. Let's see if they can actually punch this one in, turn, handoff up the middle, and nothing there. 2nd and 10. Clock is under 30 seconds. They hand this one off to the outside, and he got some blockers. He's got the outside edge, and he's in for a touchdown. 13-35. UTEP is up on this one. FSC making it 14-35. They're going to kick this ball for onside kick. It looks like they've kind of conceded defeat. Decide to kick this one off, and the UTEP catches it, pitches it back, trying to make a play. Smith gets nothing extra on the pitch, as now UTEP comes up to the line, hands the ball off Wilson up the middle. Wilson loses 2 yards on that play, and UTEP is going to win this game 35-14. Wilson had 19 carries for 68 yards, 3 touchdowns. One of those was a receiving touchdown. This was a great game. I'm trying to get better at this commentary, guys. Please stick with me. I know I kind of stumble and say some wrong names at times, but we're getting there. Great team play. I'm trying to learn the numbers. Seeing this on like the recording screen, I need to get a bigger monitor. So that's going to be part of my next upgrades. As I think we're getting better. This team actually played very well today, as that was Keaton who got a defensive tackle or sack, and we got no interceptions. So we play Texas next week. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit that like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you against Texas.